What is up, fifth graders? I am so excited to be with you today. We are going to do a bit of math together, but first I have a serious question. What was Beethoven, you know Beethoven, the composer? What was his favorite fruit? If you said banana, you were right. Awesome. All joking aside, today we will be working on rounding decimals. Your I can statement is below. It is, say it with me, if you can, I can round decimals to the nearest whole number, tenth, or hundredth. Let's try that again. I can round decimals to the nearest whole number, nearest tenth, and the nearest hundredth. Now, today we will be rounding decimals with a number line. I love to use this strategy because you can see the different benchmarks your number is in between. When do you use rounding decimals in real life? I want you to think about that for a second. Something you may have thought about is usually we use rounding decimals when we are estimating, and a lot of times it's with money. When we go to the grocery store, we round up a lot, even if we need to round down, just to estimate and know how much money we have. And I really like the number line strategy, and I hope you do too. Thank you so much for being with me. So let's get started. We're gonna start with the number 438 and 565 thousandths. I'm going to draw my open number line. Then I'm going to first round to the nearest whole number. The nearest whole number is everything that comes before the decimal. So I'm just going to underline that part. That part will become my first benchmark. My first benchmark is 438. And when we are rounding to the nearest whole number, we have 438 plus 1, which is 439. 439. Now our halfway mark is going to be, what is half of 1? So half of 1 we know is 1/2, or we know it's 0.5 or 5/10. So 438 and 5/10. Now I have all three of my benchmarks. Now I look at my number again and I figure out, where is it going to fall on my number line? This is 438 and 5/10. Here we have 438, 5, 6, 56. So this is a little over this number. So it'll fall somewhere around here. And that number is closer to 439. That is rounded to the nearest whole number. Okay, next we're going to round this number to the nearest tenth. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite it, 438 and 565 thousandths. Here is my open number line. Now to the nearest tenth, I'm going to underline that whole part up to the tenth. That is going to become my first benchmark, 438 and 5/10. So now I need to figure out my next benchmark is a tenth more. Our last one we did one whole number more, but here we're doing 1/10 more. 1/10 more will be 438 and 6/10. Okay, so we have 6/10 here, 5/10 here. So now I need to figure out my center benchmark. And I'm going to take everything from this left benchmark. I have 438 and 5/10, and half of a tenth is going to be 5/100. So we're going to have a 5 here. So now I look back at my original number. I see here 438 and 56 hundredths here. So it should fall somewhere around here once again. Now, we know that this number is now closest to this number, to the nearest tenth. This number is rounded to 438 and 6 tenths. And last but not least, we will round to the nearest hundredth. Our number was 438 and 565 thousandths. Now here is my open number line. Now I'm going to underline up to my hundredths place. That is going to become my left benchmark. So 400, that's my lowest number. It could be in between 38 and 56 hundredths. Now my right benchmark will be 438 and not 56. What's one more hundredth? 57 hundredths. Awesome. Now my middle benchmark will be 400, everything from here, 38 and 56, and then our 5, because 5 thousandths is going to be half of your 100th. So check it out. That number is the exact same. When you're halfway in between, we round up. So our number rounded to the nearest hundredth is 438 and 57 hundredths, rounded to the nearest hundredth. Now I'd like you to try one on your own. Check out our new number. Can you read this number? Take a minute to round this number to the nearest whole number, the nearest tenth, and the nearest hundredth. Now I hope you had enough time to do that. If not, just pause me again and keep trying. So I'm going to go over it with you. This number was 342 and 657 thousandths. We're going to start by rounding to the nearest whole number. Going to underline 342, that is my whole number. That will be the left part of my number line for whole numbers. 342. One more than that. 343, halfway in between, 342 and 5 tenths. And if you said this number rounds to 343, you are correct. Now to the nearest tenth. This number to the nearest tenth, I'll go ahead and continue underlining to the tenths place. That will become my left benchmark, 342 and 6 tenths, and one more tenth will be 342 and 7 tenths. You got it. And halfway in between, what did you put? Did you put 342 and 65 hundredths? Awesome. So let's check out our number. If you said this number rounds to 342 and 7 tenths, you were correct. Awesome job. And last but not least, I'll rewrite the number down here, 342 and 657 thousandths. To the nearest hundredth, I'm going to underline to the hundredths place. That will become my left benchmark, 342 and 65 hundredths. One more hundredth will be my right benchmark. You're doing a great job. 342 and 66 hundredths. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, halfway in between, half of my hundredth will be my thousandths. So I'm going to take all of this over here, 342, and my 6.5, and then half of my hundredth is my thousandths. Okay, so 5 thousandths place. So what does this round to? So we have 655, 657. If you said it rounds to 342 and 66 hundredths, you were correct. Awesome job. All right, fifth graders, I did it with you. We did it together. Now it's time to try it on your own. Remember that learning target? I can round decimals to the nearest whole number, nearest tenth, and nearest hundredth. I'd like to see you do that with this number, 609 and 263 thousandths. I'd like you to round that number to the nearest whole number, nearest tenth, and nearest hundredth. I know you can do it. Use that number line to help you. Remember your benchmarks, all of them, all 3 of them. And I hope you stay healthy and safe. Thank you so much for learning with me today. My name is Mrs. Kleyman. Have a great day.